So my internship this semester was an accounting and finance internship. My name is Andrew McCombs. I'm a business management major with emphasis in finance, and I'm a senior. And I did my internship this year in Pocatello, Idaho. Company that I worked for was Driscoll Management Company, and I chose Driscoll Management Company because I knew the management there. I grew up with all of them, and I knew the great men that they are. I also knew that they are constantly starting new ventures and looking for new ways to gain market shares in the agricultural industry. And this was something really important to me, to kind of work for a company that was innovative, not someone that was just doing kind of the same thing over and over again. And especially in the agricultural industry, that's kind of just doing the same thing over and over again that you've always done is kind of the norm. So I wanted to work for someone that was going to be a little more inventive and look for new ways to make money. And one of the big things is that recently they started an exporting business, sending hay to China. So as people's incomes in China go up, they've been able to start drinking real milk and not just have to drink powdered milk. So there's popping up lots of dairies, and we've kind of there's a couple people that do this in the country, but we've kind of taken over the market because we have the funding and we have a Chinese partner, and that's big advantages for us over some of the other companies that are doing the same thing. And also they bought up Harper's Homemade, which is a local company in this region, but pretty well known and well liked. So that was another big reason when I got into contact with Driscoll Company, why I knew I wanted to choose Driscoll Company, was because of the new ventures that they had and the opportunities to get working in those fields. So pretty much, really, I didn't do a lot to obtain my internship. I just made sure my LinkedIn page was always up to date, and that it said that I was specifically searching for an internship, and I did a lot of praying. I think I actually only applied to maybe one or two internships, but I actually received a message on LinkedIn from the CEO of Driscoll Management Company, and he told me that if I was interested in an internship, to contact the CFO. This all happened roughly about a year ago. So I contacted the CFO, and we planned to talk as the date got closer. In August, we had a phone interview, which went very well, and he invited me to come back in when we got to Idaho and have a face-to-face interview. And that happened on September 13th. The interview went well, and 2 days later, they called me and offered me the internship. I knew right away when they contacted me that this internship would be a great fit for me, just because it kind of matched all the things that I wanted to do and the experience that I wanted to get. I would say the two main courses that I've taken at BYU Idaho that are applicable to my internship had to be financial accounting and also production operations management. When I first got to Driscoll Management Company, I worked for Harper's Homemade Bread, and I actually got the opportunity after a little bit to manage all the accounts receivable for them and to do the bank reconciliation for Harper's Homemade. And that was a really great experience. I kind of got to see what went into doing accounts receivable and kind of all the work it was, and also got to do a little bit of business process improvement there to make it better and easier to deal with. After about a month of that, I got moved over to Driscoll Top Pay, which is our exporting business that sends hay to China. And I got to do a ton there. Right from the bat, I got involved in creating business processes for inventory control. The company just started actually exporting in September, and we bought a bunch of hay. Inventory control process in place. So I got to help manage about $15 million worth of inventory. And so production operations management, that class really applied there, how inventory should flow and how it flows from the time it gets there all the way till the time that it leaves. Overall, the internship was an awesome experience. Like I said, I got to manage accounts receivable. The management was great, and the inventory control processes. I had a couple opportunities to build and program an Excel spreadsheet that automated all the billing processes. I figured that it saved about 260 man-hours a year of work, and it just automated it all. I also got to build a spreadsheet that used a lot of tables and slicers, and also the subtotal function to be able to see the flow from the time that hay came from a truck, hit the scale, went to where it was going to be stored or went to where it to be pressed until it left. We could see the whole flow of that operation. And that was something that they hadn't had before. Before we just had an access spreadsheet, and it would be pretty hard to find certain information or find exactly where hay from a certain field went, and if we still had it or if it left. And so I got a huge opportunity to be able to build that spreadsheet and help manage that inventory control. For the future, I think that I wanted to do kind of new ventures, and I like the idea of being part of business process creation. And but I didn't think I wanted to do it so much, kind of like supply chain management. So I think this internship has maybe changed what I kind of want to do in the future, and that I really have learned that I do like production and operations, and I do like supply chain management. I could keep working for them. They did offer me a job, but I decided not to because we are not at our normal home. Our normal home is in Washington. And so we're going to move back there. But I've talked a little bit about coming back and working for them in the future. So I guess we'll kind of see where that goes. But mostly it's kind of changed. I plan to go get my MBA. And so it's kind of changed what I want to do with my MBA. That's probably the biggest effect that this internships had on my future plans. Just advice for future interns is they didn't hire you to come to work and to just do nothing. You need to jump right in, get people to help you, ask people how to do things if you don't know, and get all the experience. I spent a lot of time talking to people like the daddy guy. He taught me a lot about Excel and about how to use Excel and Access together and Power BI. Those are great things to know, how to interpret data and how to display data in a good way. So just jump right in. Don't be afraid to mess up, and just make sure that if you mess up or that if you don't know exactly what you're doing, that you ask, that people help you, and that you care about your job. And even though you might be there for 4 months, act like it's your own job and take ownership of what you're doing. So that was my internship for this semester, and I had a great time. It was a great experience.